Welcome back to EtherLink AI Insights. I'm Alex, and joining me today is Sam. We're diving into something pretty unconventional, a story about AI leadership training that takes place in the Finnish Arctic rather than a conference room. The piece is called AI Vision Quest in Finnish Lapland, where wilderness leadership meets AI transformation. And honestly, when I first read it, I thought someone was joking. But there's real strategy here. Sam, what caught your attention first?
The data point that AI projects fail at scale because leadership doesn't have the skills to guide them. That's the actual problem being solved here, not some wellness fantasy. 67% of enterprise AI initiatives stall at pilot stage. That's a McKinsey finding, not made up. And the root cause? Executives lack both technical fluency and organizational vision to actually deploy these systems. So the wilderness piece isn't gimmicky. It's designed to solve a specific gap.
Right, so it's not, let's go hike and feel inspired. It's, we need to remove distractions so leaders can actually think strategically about AI. Talk us through the neuroscience angle. You mentioned attention restoration theory earlier. How does that even work?
Basically, natural environments restore your ability to focus on complex problems in a way that office environments can't. When you're surrounded by trees and snow instead of email notifications and Slack pings, your prefrontal cortex isn't depleted by constant task switching. The research shows measurable improvements in creative problem solving, and AI strategy is inherently creative work. You're not just implementing a tool, you're rethinking how your entire organization operates around autonomous systems.
So the retreat structure itself is interesting. It's not all wilderness. There's actual technical work happening. Walk me through the 7 days.
Days 1 and 2 are assessment and vision setting. They're mapping organizational readiness, team maturity, and where AI actually fits in the business. You get assigned a personal AI mentor, one of EtherLink's senior consultants, and you're setting collaborative goals, not generic goals, real ones tied to your company's challenges. Then evenings include these midnight sun forest walks and sauna sessions, which is where reflection happens naturally, not forced in breakout rooms.
The sauna part is actually smart. That's a Finnish cultural institution, right? It's not an American corporate team-building activity.
Exactly. It's culturally authentic, which matters for psychological safety. You're not in some corporate resort pretending to be rustic. You're in an actual place where this is how people live and think. Then days 3 through 5 shift to hands-on technical work. You're building your own AI agent using their EtherDev methodologies. You're learning prompt engineering and what they call context engineering, which is honestly more important than prompt engineering at the enterprise level.
Context engineering. That's interesting terminology. What's the distinction there?
Prompt engineering is about crafting the right query for an AI model. Context engineering is about setting up the entire system so the AI has the right information, guardrails, and integration points to actually do useful work in your business. It's the difference between asking a chatbot a question versus architecting an autonomous system that works within your workflows. At the enterprise level, context beats prompt every time. That's where real value lives.
And the retreat is capped at 8 people, which is tiny for a leadership program. Why that constraint?
Scale kills this model. You need real mentoring from senior architects, not keynotes and breakout sessions. 8 people means everyone gets personal attention. It means peer accountability actually works. You're not anonymous in a room of 200. You're learning from and with executives facing similar adoption challenges. That peer dynamic is where the real learning happens, especially when you're building actual AI agents together.
Let's talk about the broader crisis Sam mentioned earlier. The data is pretty stark. 73% of executives say they lack skills to manage AI governance and risk. That's a World Economic Forum finding. Why is traditional training failing so spectacularly?
Because it's divorced from context. A classroom teaches you frameworks in a vacuum. An online course gives you a certificate that doesn't change how you actually make decisions. A typical corporate offsite is still tethered to the office, email, Slack, the whole attention fragmentation machine. None of that mirrors the actual problem. AI implementation requires sustained strategic thinking, not information transfer. You can't get that in a room where you're interrupted every 10 minutes.
And the stakes are real. These executives are making capital allocation decisions about AI systems, automation infrastructure, team restructuring. They need to understand this deeply, not just conceptually.
Exactly. A CFO needs to understand whether investing in AI agents actually improves operational efficiency or if it's just expensive automation theater. A COO needs to know how to restructure workflows around autonomous systems. A CTO needs to think about integration and governance at scale. None of that happens with surface-level training. It requires mentoring and context with people who've actually built these systems in enterprise environments.
The retreat is specifically positioned for 2025 and 2026, which is interesting timing. Why now?
Because we're past the hype phase and into the implementation phase. ChatGPT was novelty in 2023. Now enterprises are actually trying to deploy AI agents and autonomous workflows, and they're failing because leadership doesn't have a framework for thinking about this strategically. The next 2 years will separate the companies that actually leverage AI from the ones that spend millions and get nowhere. This retreat is about ensuring your leadership is in the first group.
So practically speaking, if I'm a VP of operations and my company is struggling to move AI beyond pilot stage, what am I actually getting from this program?
You're getting 3 things. 1, a personal AI mentor who understands your specific operational challenges and can advise on deployment strategy. 2, hands-on experience building and deploying AI agents so you understand what's technically possible and what's not. 3, a network of peers facing identical problems, plus an ongoing relationship with Etherlinks team. The retreat isn't the end, it's the beginning of a transformation process.
And you're doing this in an environment specifically designed to remove distractions and enable deep work. That's the Finnish Lapland piece. It's not scenic window dressing, it's core architecture.
Right. You're at Taiga School, an eco-certified hotel designed for exactly this kind of retreat. No corporate chain, no conference room theater. Just an environment where strategic clarity can actually emerge because you're not fighting the infrastructure and culture. That matters more than people think.
Final question. What happens after the 7 days? How does this translate back to the real world?
That's where the real work starts. You return with a deployed AI agent you built, a clear understanding of your organizational readiness, and a strategic roadmap from your mentor. You've also got peer accountability and ongoing access to Etherlinks consultants. The retreat breaks the mental logjam. The months after are where transformation actually happens in your organization.
So it's not a certification program or a feel-good offsite. It's literally a strategic intervention designed to unlock AI adoption at scale in your company.
That's exactly right. And honestly, for organizations hemorrhaging money on failed AI pilots, the ROI on this kind of leadership clarity is probably significant. You're solving the actual bottleneck, not the symptom.
This has been fascinating. For everyone listening who wants to dig deeper into the full details of this AI vision quest, the complete article is available on etherlink.ai. You'll find the entire 7-day framework, the neuroscience behind wilderness learning, and how to actually apply this in your organization. Sam, thanks for walking through this with me.
Thanks, Alex. It's a genuinely innovative approach to a real problem. We'll see if it becomes a model for how enterprise AI leadership actually gets built.
That's EtherLink AI Insights. I'm Alex, she's Sam. We'll be back next week with another exploration into the intersection of AI, business strategy, and how organizations actually transform. Until then, thanks for listening.